Good evening, one and all, and welcome to An Unlikely Tale, a D&D 5th edition and Pathfinder 1st edition modified tabletop game that we've been playing for some plus near 3 years. We are currently within the final arc of our long-running campaign, and these characters, whose experiences are far and plenty, will be lightly recapped tonight before we delve into tonight's session. This would be a generally solid recap of events that have transpired over the past 3 years over the course of this campaign that would be both helpful to the players, who I'm sure could use a nice refresher, and for our new guests who will be taking part in this adventure alongside us. And without further ado, how about we get that party started? And we recap our story thus far. Pardon me just a moment. This tale begins like so many others, with a ragtag group of adventurers and wanderers, each pulled into a series of events they couldn't have possibly known would bring about their destined potential. 9 years prior to where we currently find ourselves is where fate swept up our heroes in a conflict they first thought benign. Without realizing it, they were each drawn into the dread plane of Barovia, both kingdom and prison, to the Dark Lord Strahd von Zarovich. It's here where their first true fight for survival began, as Strahd tormented them and those around them at every given opportunity. This was further exacerbated by the Shadowfell's negative influence, which slowly tainted and corrupted their once morally righteous souls with each passing day that they stayed there. However, where Strahd's machinations would normally slowly break down his prey, these heroes stood fast, even against the most hopeless and insurmountable odds. Being so close to the essence of the Shadowfell, they were visited and granted favor by none other than the Raven Queen herself, who took interest in their perseverance and potential to reclaim the realm from the Dark Lord. And so, with her blessings, along with their steely resolve and camaraderie, they set to work bringing down the Dark Lord piece by piece, destroying his allies, resources, and even his consolidated power over the centuries of his rule. Before Strahd realized it, our unlikely few forced him into a corner, threatening even his immortality. In his desperation, he returned to the dark forces that originally granted him his powers, and this set in motion a long-forgotten prophecy that even he was ignorant to, but empowered him with even greater strength than he could have possibly imagined. This sudden shift shook the entire realm, alerting the party to the battlegrounds of the final confrontation, a far-off, long-abandoned temple high in the mountains to the south, the fabled Amber Temple. The slog was difficult, with the final path to Strahd proving even more so, but they triumph over every obstacle until only a single set of doors separates them from the final battle. They bravely pushed onward and engaged the empowered Dark Lord in a climactic battle that nearly brought the temple down around them. But with their combined efforts and power, after more than a year of fighting the good fight, they overcame Strahd. However, This was but the first piece of the puzzle that was needed to activate the prophecy. And as Strahd fell in battle, something awoke from deep within the temple and escaped. Gibbet, the hanged god, walks the world of mortals once more, being the ominous message left in its wake. Unsure of what this meant, and overwhelmed by their victory over Strahd, they put this event from their minds and savored a Barovia free from its evil tyrant. But they had a new obstacle in goal. As despite slaying Strahd, Barovia was still trapped in the Shadowfell, and as such was isolated from the rest of the world. It took nearly a whole additional year before they were able to free these lands. For as they labored, powerful and mysterious entities ran rampant across the land, creatures ancient and varied, known as the Denarians, weapons of war from the first sundering, the war of the gods. Whatever seal was broken in the Amber Temple clearly had some connection to their sudden appearance. And balancing investigations, research, and their efforts to balancing investigations, research, and their efforts to return to the prime material took untold amounts of work. But by unifying the lands under the banner of true liberation, things slowly worked out until they had all the pieces they needed. And by the time they finally managed to break the dark anchors binding the realm, they had slain 7 Denarians and captured 8. But at this point, were shadowy visages of who they were when this all began. Pragmatic, cunning, and in many cases brutal in their methods, with the ends justifying the means in the name of the greater good. And to that end, these changes proved instrumental, for when they returned to the realm of the prime material plane, the neighboring kingdoms and fiefs of the Sword Coast immediately met them with aggression, completely unaware of Strahd's fall and Barovia's shift in leadership. War and blood was doled out. And through overwhelming power, they forced the invaders back, establishing the Republic of New Barovia into an economic, technologic, and militaristic superpower. Using this position, they leveraged trade deals and political affiliations until New Barovia became a nation rivaling the likes of Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep. With these new powers and responsibilities came requests for aid and support from their foreign and neighboring kingdoms, one of which begged for foreign intervention into a massive civil conflict on the island kingdom of Atheris, which stood on the verge of total collapse with the fall of the divine-touched monarchy that governed it for centuries. Specific details related to this sudden shift led the party to believe that Denarian influence may be at work, and feeling directly responsible for their being unleashed upon the world, they set off halfway across it, aboard their trusted vessel, the Grim Kindness. While en route, they find a vessel at sea, adrift, and completely devoid of crew. And they board it to investigate, searching for survivors. They find a highly disturbing message left in the captain's logbook. And as they're about to disembark and continue their journey, they're attacked by what can only be described as some massive, unknowable, tendrilled horror that was lying in wait in the depths and bowels of the ship. It treated the ship as both a second skin and disguise, as it assailed the party and nearly disabled the Grim Kindness before they narrowly managed to escape. And with their ship damaged, as they arrive, limping into the docks of a Victorian-esque Lysac, They find they're taken aback by how comparatively modern it is to New Barovia. Eventually finding out that this city is both a main trade hub of the continent and a technological it sits on the technological edge of progress. They find out that not only this, but it's established itself as an independent state and functions as an unbiased, neutral element regarding the civil war gripping the kingdom. But this comes with its own set of issues. Issues they soon find themselves wrapped in. Espionage, politics, assassination, and terrible humanoid experimentation. Elements they found themselves unfortunately familiar with. And upon arriving in the city, combing it for information, they eventually meet the very Countess herself, a woman by the name of Annalita von Reise, who commissions them to find a young boy. However, it didn't take long for them to get branded criminals, as they began to pry into the darker, dirtier elements that hid on the underbelly of the city. A plot to usurp the seat of the city from the very same young boy they were charged to find. The cover-up of a murder of a prolific, beloved family, and eldritch elements alluding to a horrifying secret tied to the very founding of Lysac. They uncover a myriad of connections to the Denarians and learn of the very prophecy they inadvertently set in motion and its catastrophic implications. Together with their locally made allies, they implement a plan to stop these horrible things from happening. But at every turn, they seem to fall short, until the final confrontation. Lucien Fleur, Grand Physician of the Morbus Doctor, leader of an organization accused of unethical experimentation, reveals himself to be a horseman of the apocalypse, the rider of conquest. He reveals his true monstrous form and invokes his finely laid plan, unleashing a glimpse of the hellish end intended for the entire world. That day, horrible things took place, as blood flooded the streets and mind-rending creatures the sky. That day, the heroes made a difficult choice. Save the people of the city and doom the world as Lucien's plan kickstarts Armageddon. Or leave them to die and confront Lucien in hopes of saving millions. And they chose the latter. They trudged through the massacre taking place around them, as citizens' pleas for help fell on deaf ears, as did their suffering. The greater good being the only thing keeping them from turning back constantly at the horrors transpiring. Eventually, they find Lucien and fight him. Never before has wrath and desperation fueled them so, as they clashed with this demigod of destruction. As the final blow was struck, however, it proved just short, giving Lucien just enough time to invoke the last of his plan. Lucien, rider of conquest, is eventually slain by their ally Rex, but all is for naught. The final piece of the prophecy managing to fall into place. The skies tear open and give birth to the wretched form of an eldritch god as the bells of the end toll across the entire crystal sphere, heralding the return of the forgotten god. They failed to stop the beginning of the end, but they still needed to win the day if they wanted to have at least tomorrow. And against all odds, they lay out a plan to protect what was left of Lysac and destroy the massive god creature that now loomed miles off the coast against the horizon. They board the Grim and take the fight to the creature. Nothing more than what would have been excuse me, sorry. Nothing more than what they have between them on their person and an outlandish plan. Using their most potent magic and resources, they engage the creature, who retaliates with its expected near godly strength. However, their plan seems to succeed at the cost of one final sacrifice. As Rex strikes a final blow with a divine weapon they find during their previous investigations into the conspiracy, and in a blinding light, vanishes along with the godchild. In the ensuing months, they do their best to pick up the little pieces of what remain of Lysec, and install one of their trusted number as an interim leader until its true heir comes of age. But in the back of their minds looms the impending doom they failed to protect the world from. For the events of Lysec were but the beginning of many more horrors and atrocities to come. Nearly 2 years have passed since the events of Lysec, and the world is now in a state of chaos. Magic suddenly spiraling out of control. Creatures of other planes suddenly appearing as the barriers between the planes draw close and blur. Natural disasters plaguing the prime material over. It's here where our heroes suddenly find themselves in yet another mess, as they're suddenly summoned across the very spheres themselves and spirited to the world of Lila. In this world, directly governed and ruled by the gods and goddesses themselves, they are conscripted by one such goddess, Arjna, to slay her siblings. Pardon me, I need to take a sip of water. Through a series of whirlwind events, they end up enemies of their employer, as they learn of the despotic rule in which Arjna imposes upon her nation, and as so, rebel against her. Arjna's retainer Gandiva, whom spent her entire life under this regime, opens her eyes for the first time, and joins the heroes against her former leader and creator. Together with the aid of Vishnu, her eldest sibling, they put an end to Arjna's schemes, liberate her nation, and return back to their home, with a few new friends and lovers in tow. And now, in present day, with the inevitables hunting them and their allies, the gods forcibly conscripting our heroes to fight against Gibbet's return, and the impending apocalypse that threatens the very foundation of their entire sphere, they find themselves standing amongst the ruined streets of New Barovia, after an incredible display of magical prowess on the part of youth, to save the city. It's here now that our heroes struggle to pick themselves back up once more, and decide their next move. For the clock is ticking, and with each passing day, yet another sign of the end reveals itself. And if prophecy is correct, the next sign will be war, fire, and brimstone. And that, my friends, is our story thus far. And quite a crazy one it's been. Between the personal growth these heroes have shared, the bonds they've built, and the alliances forged, they've come a long way from lowly unnamed heroes to essentially demigods. Now, to introduce some of our phenomenal players and dear friends, we'll start off with, hold on, we'll start off with Jute, whom is playing the character Youth, and a number of others whom will eventually be revealed over time. Oh,
Oh, hello. Konnichiwa, ongenki desu ka?
Um, we have. Hold on one moment. Pardon me, my friends. Shifting some documents over. There we go. Okay. So we have Jute, who's playing Youth, and a number of other phenomenal characters, including Kaylit and Jute. um, we also have the phenomenal, the amazing, the beloved Remy, who's going to be playing Roko, as well as potentially, should she make an appearance, Hilder in the future. Say hi.
Good question. Do
What's
you
up?
have a specific date that you could give in this current timeline?
Um, it's somewhere buried in my notes, but I would say it's currently in the early fall. Let's say roughly maybe late August.
I will go with August 30th.
Fair enough.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know for now.
Yeah, understandable. um, we have the beautiful, the alluring Gandiva, whom we'll be playing Gandiva.
Hi, my name is Gandiva. I'm a order of the Cummies Paladin. Nice to meet you guys. Yep.
Wow.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And we have the currently running a little late uh, Vulpesia, who will be playing Ziz, as well as a number of other characters, including Linneus, the very talented, very, very renowned, and almost I would go so far as to say infamous Kenku Rogue and Arcane Trickster, as well as Anora, the off-planer Water Genasi Druid, whom is responsible for several war crimes. Anyway, and of course, we have yours truly playing Silas and a number of other characters as your DM. And I hope that we can get Ziz to show up asapticals because I'm going to kick his ass. He's 30 minutes late.
Just give him a good old lick.
However, it's okay. He doesn't necessarily need to be here for us to be able to begin and can, get the adventure going. I accounted for this possibility. And we're going to do a quick little recap, more specifically tailored to the recent events since the campaign start. We are on session 4. There was a small hiatus due to time and scheduling constraints, but we're back on it. So, since our campaign's beginning, specifically this arc, we last left off with our party set off aboard the Grim Kindness to investigate rumors of giant mechanical juggernauts marching eastward across the Sword Coast. Concerned that this may have connections with the tolling of the end, they were surprised to learn that the rumors were in fact true. Before long, they found themselves engaged with this unknown engine of destruction, and amidst the fighting, one of their number, Roko, found herself spirited away with the machine, leaving her companions at a loss. As it turns out, and much to Roko's confusion, the machine had brought her to the city of Doors, Sigil. Through deft teamwork and skill on the part of Ziz, the party pursued without hesitation, desperate to save their friend from whatever unknown fate had befell her. Upon arrival, however, they are immediately captured and informed that they are to stand trial for actions they've committed against the natural order and fabric of reality. The trial proves to be a farce and a means of pressing the group into the service under one of the participating divine parties, for better or worse. Now bound by a divine contract and imbued with a fraction of its power, they return to the prime material where but a fraction of the effects of their new overwhelming gifts are inadvertently set off when youth accidentally taps too deeply into the forces of magic known as the Weave while meditating on the Humvee ride back to New Barovia. This inadvertently casts Ziz and Silas into the astral plane and destroys the Humvee, forcing Gandiva, Roko, and Youth to continue the journey on foot. With more deft multi-planar magics put to work, Ziz quickly returns himself and Silas back to the Prime and directly to New Barovia, which they learn is under attack by the same machine that they had just confronted 2 days prior. And it brought friends. Youth ponders on her new gifts while the trio treks back, and before long considers a plan that involves tapping into that power once again and blindly teleporting back to Barovia to find a way to save Ziz and Silas, whom they are still unaware have found safety already. They are fortunate enough, however, to find themselves directly in the middle of the city, and just as quickly learn that it's under attack. Tapping into the very last of her magical reserves and physical stamina, Youth unleashes a massive tidal wave of dispelling magic, nearly vaporizing the aggressing machines while preserving what was still untouched in the city before collapsing in a heap as the blonde from her hair bleeds out into stark silver. And now, our party finds themselves once again in an all too familiar position, standing amongst the rubble of yet another city, dead and wounded everywhere, in a desperate need of a plan to recover and identify where they might find the other three remaining horsemen of the apocalypse. As you look about, you're reminded bitterly of these very, very familiar sights and sounds. The smell and taste of blood and burnt copper on the air. Countless bodies scatter the rubbled, ruined remains of what were homes, businesses, and offices of import. The sounds of rubble slowly cascading about you, with the cries of civilians pleading for anyone to help, fill the air. And sorry, having a little balancing some thingies. With a dour, dismal air hanging over the city, as the citizens are bitterly reminded of the times of Strahd and the horrors he inflicted on his people. Resounding with arguments amongst the civilians as our various heroes just look about at the sheer destruction and chaos wrought upon their home. And what do they do?
Well, we've got to get this situation under control.
Youth is still knocked out, I'm assuming.
Yep, she's knocked out.
Yeah, she knocked the fuck out.
In all my years, my crew and I have traveled to at least 8 different planets full of intelligent life forms. And through the myriad of my experiences in those, only one had even remotely come close to a level of destruction as catastrophic as this. I'm going to need a moment to devise many schematics on the solutions to these current problems.
Yeah, not even your burb friends want to come near us right now.
Very disappointing, frankly. We have been through... Well, no, actually, I just said that this is the worst we've been through. But still, I'll have to try again to convince them to reconvene, resupply, and reinforce the efforts in fixing this.
Yeah, we have to figure out how those things are working. Maybe we can use parts of them, or maybe some of their power sources for those Jovian thingies that Silas was working on.
I had been thinking on that, in truth. And for the current moment, I have at least come up with the concept of a temporary solution. It is still in the works, but with a little bit more time, I'm sure I can come up with something. Oh, within the next day, I'm sure.
Once
Another day of sleeplessness.
Yeah, so Alce was last time she was like focusing on doing that mass healing for the city.
Yes.
And once she's got that, she's sure that she's gotten people stable enough that she can break her concentration. I would want her to start going around and actually helping people on a one-on-one kind of deal.
Okay. So, as Alce taps into the essence of the Shadowfell, imbued within her arcane focus, her divine focus, she performs a series of flourishes and drives the butt of the item into the ground, erecting a massive magical array across the entire ground of the city. And slowly, a trickle of divine positive energy begins to pour over all within its radius. The mixed hue of the arcane barrier erected by youth, in conjunction with your healing spell, bathes the entire city in a somber blue, almost reflective of the current state of things. And with some time, a large portion of the wounded and the injured begin to rise from the ground and begin helping each other, moving rubble, saving those trapped underneath, and kind of collecting themselves after this horrible incident took place.
Impressive. I only wish that our medical sciences have become to such a level.
Gandiva just kind of like nods. She's like, yeah. So far from what I know, Alcé seems really obsessed with the concept of people not dying, so...
Duly noted.
And when you're eventually satisfied with the number of people risen, you're finally able to kind of dispel the spell and take a moment to collect yourself once again before setting off to start helping people in a more one-on-one fashion.
She's like a healing zombie.
If I recall correctly from my first visit here, there was something rather peculiar about her biology that I could not quite put into a scientific manner. A variable beyond my grasp.
Not the pickles.
Oh my god, is she dreaming about pickles?
Stay.
Yes.
Stay.
How
away.
does fair use condition anyhow?
Gandiva is gonna try giving Jute a little bit of a shake to try to wake her up. Question mark?
Give me a medicine roll.
Medicine.
Ooh.
All right, yeah, you succeed. How do you want to do that? How do you want to try stirring her from her slumber? What age-old combat medic trick do you have up your sleeve?
I'm gonna shake her and then slap her cheek gently.
The combination of like the exact number, the exact like force, the distance at which you allow her body to throttle as you shake her, and then even the angle and force of the slap are so perfect that it's almost instant. The second your finger touches her face, she immediately snaps to.
Pickles?
Yeah. Yeah, that's I learned that in a military in Lila. Yep, that's what we did.
The fuck? Why am I so tired?
What you did like a big spell.
Oh, I did?
A
I don't
spell
remember.
that's still erected around the entire city.
Yeah, look up look at the sky. It's different.
Youth looks around and it's quite
It is
confused.
a very distinct shade of azure.
And oh my god.
Oh, I thought that was a dream. Fuck.
Youth, your hair. What happened?
I'm beautiful now, okay?
You're albino now.
I don't know. She like looks at her hair and fumbles it between her fingers, confused.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, youth. It looks like shit is hitting the fan, and we still don't know where Silas is.
You
Or is it?
last saw Silas walk. Remember, they had met up, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Oh, okay, I
Um,
remember.
but you last saw Silas just after things had you've erected the barrier. You saw him walk off in the direction of the guardhouse.
Oh, yes, I remember now. We did see Silas. He walked off. He left us here. What the hell's wrong? No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, we really need to get together and figure out what to do from here.
Agreed. The sooner I can get back to my drawing board, the better.
And so, what does the party decide to do? As you stand in the city center, kind of surrounded by the ruins and surviving remnants of the city.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking fucking. Well, I think it would be a good idea to reconvene together and come up with a plan.
Okay, yeah. Where do you
Agreed.
like? What do you? Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna? How do you want to go about that?
How you gonna do it? How you gonna get there? When you
When
gonna
you
get
gonna
there?
get there? Who you gonna get? Who's gonna be there when you get there?
And exactly how many are you calling in?
Oh,
Because
that's a really good question.
everybody's on the table.
Is that one? No, two, three. My eyesight is poor. Three small dragon-like things in the sky there.
What is
Roko
that?
points to the sky. To
Dragons?
three wyverns patrolling the skies with a familiar hulking furred creature on the back of one of them.
Oh my god! Wait, does Gendy even know Hilder?
Nope, they've never met.
Okay.
Youth is gonna try to use the sound stones in the ears. I don't remember what they're called. Were they called sound stones?
Oh, the sending stones?
Yeah, it's sending stones. There you go. Sound
Look at
stones.
this
It's
is
been a
his
while since
head.
we used them.
Mm-hmm.
Link shells.
La la.
Oh wow, what the? Who said that?
It was
Oh,
me who was definitely here the whole time.
I
Perfect
like your
timing.
avatar. It's a perfect replacement until you become actually you.
It's me.
It's him.
Ooh woo.
All right.
Yeah, I tried to use the sending stone. I don't know if they work or not after what I did.
Well, that's a good point.
Roll Arcana.
It's a good thing Roko's cybernetics don't run on magic, or she'd be extremely dead right now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Poor Coco.
Always 30s.
So,
Always 30s.
so, um, as you kind of slowly have flashes of recollections of what was transpiring just before you blacked out, you kind of recall what you did to some degree. It slowly starts to creep back in bit by bit, in flashes at first, in nonsensical, disjointed flashes, but slowly the memories come into focus. And as you recall, when you poured everything that you had into that spell, everything, it was perhaps the most potent, accurate, perfectly cast spell you had ever managed to execute on this scale. And perhaps that might be why it still stands even after it's long since exhausted its purpose.
Ah. So,
Silas, are you there? Can you hear me?
There's a light crackle at first, but eventually you hear Silas on the other side. Yes,
Where are you at?
I'm coordinating the guard on the south side of the city.
Would you like some assistance?
He silent for a moment, but then says yes and gives you his location relative to your current position.
He pings his location on the map.
Sure.
Mid missing.
Hold on. Okay, give me a moment.
Toxic pinging. Cut it out.
Ding, ding, ding.
Question mark,
ding.
question mark, question mark.
Oh God.
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
Just blue pings on the ground.
So we're gonna do like this. Wait, hold on. What the hell?
That may have been due to experimenting with a voice mod thing, which
Ah.
did not turn out so well there.
Somebody got pulled into the void, and I was about to cry.
Yeah, I thought that I was
I thought
hearing.
somebody was gone.
I thought I was hearing Gibbet like call to us from the other side. Like,
Oh, God.
I was like, holy
Oh
shit.
god. It's your time.
This one comes with me. Oh no!
And you just hear, look, look.
Oh
look,"
god, not Nilf
in
again.
the distance.
Oh no. We killed him. He's dead. He stays dead. He was a mistake. Worst Denarian ever. Should never made him. Anyway, so currently, this is the state of the city. There's still fires everywhere, with 3 massive craters left in the wake of the collapse of the machines. Those are also relative locations to the remnant scraps thereof. Silas can be found currently. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Actually, let me do it on. Not even do it on here. I'm gonna do it on this one. Having multiple monitors is great.
Hell yeah.
I want. Give me that. There you go.
Give me that.
Silas is down there, where the little orange marker is. Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
Where are we?
You would be kind of like. One sec. I'll make up another one. This is considered the collective. Yes, you guys can split up. That's on the table. You can do whatever you like.
I'll say we'll continue to help people.
Understood. So we'll give her an icon too. We'll say she's like over here. The white and black icon is out, say. Okay, the collective party would then be that pink icon. And with some time, as you walk through the ruined cities of New Barovia, you're both hailed as protectors and scorned as failures by the citizenry as you make your way. And you can't help but feel, in both ways, both things are correct, as you see bodies being piled up, weeping children without parents, and parents who've lost their children. And oh, and it's intense. The brutality of it all is by miles and leagues of comparison to Lysec, uh, minor, but it does reopen old scars. And eventually, the party makes their way. Not that. Wrong layer. They make their way to the south side of town, where they are finally able to convene with Silas, whom you see as you approach is busily barking orders to and from the various guardsmen in the nearby vicinity, coordinating them and speeding the relief effort up as much as he can. Whoa, okay, hold on. Whoa there. Calm the fuck down. Okay. This icon does not want to be taken. So we're just going to get you out of the way. What the fuckery? Okay. It's not behaving itself, guys. So pardon me for a second. What the
No
fuck?
worries.
Okay, weird things are happening right now. Sir? No? Okay.
The spell transcends the game. Everyone run.
Why does it keep grabbing the back layer and not the item? Can you please? Nope. I'm dead clicking. You see this, right? I'm not
Yep.
bugging. What? It won't even let me. Okay, hold on. Let me try
The
this.
planet do be shifting.
Oh my lord.
For
Okay.
doofa.
You know what? Screw it. I'll figure it out later. Anyway,
Yeah.
the party is in the south side of town. You're watching the relief effort take place, coordinating with everybody, and you see that same kind of haunted look that Silas had on his face as you trudged through the city of Lysek that fateful day.
Do you think they'll send more?
Who was that directed towards?
Anybody.
It's always possible.
If they do, it's all the more reason I need to get back to my project. I hope that the research facilities are still intact.
Good question. And where's the airship? Uh,
As you recall, the last time you had seen the airship, it had taken a direct hit from the Marut Inevitable that the party was engaged with in combat. And as the ship took that hit, it was damaged so catastrophically that it had to withdraw from the fight and fly back. And you haven't seen it since.
shit. We should have put a GPS tracker on that thing.
Maybe we have. I seem to recall there's still someone aboard that ship we can call.
Oh, yeah.
Ding dong. There it goes. I can speak again.
Oh,
I'll
ding
get back.
dong.
Did you mean the cat?
I meant the Lich.
Oh, yeah. Xanther.
Yeah. Good boy.
I'm gonna try to hit up Xanther.
Where's Xanther?
When was well, he doesn't have a sending stone.
He doesn't? I thought he did.
Mm-mm. Nora did.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm gonna hit up 7 because I know 7 is on the ship.
That works.
If he's still asleep, I won't even be mad. I'll laugh.
I guess I gotta call the cat. All right, hold on. I'm gonna use the sending stone. Hold on. Okay.
He answers with punch.
Hello, 7.
You hear some scrambling and some muffled sounds on the other end of the sending stone at first, and then you hear that trademark bitch before what? What? I was sleeping.
You were sleeping?
Let's take a cat nap.
I was taking a cat nap.
Do you have any idea what's going on?
Um, you're yelling at me.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Well, are you aboard the ship right now?
Yeah, I'm in my room.
And where is the ship right now?
I don't know. Aren't you on it too? Wait. Why is it? Hold on. You hear the sound of a door, a cabin door within the ship open, and then you hear a muffled, "What the fuck?"
Very
before
good.
before you hear Seven back on the other end of the sending stone. What the hell happened? There's a big hole in the side of the ship.
Yeah, you were sleeping through that whole entire ordeal?
I've slept through worse.
Yeah, yeah, I believe you.
An
So,
impeccable feat.
damn, everyone can hear that too, right? Like what 7 is saying?
Yeah, if they're tuned in onto their sending stone. Everybody who has one, yeah.
Okay, so 7, where exactly is the ship right now?
Hang on. We're in Barovia, the dockyards.
Well, oh, okay, that's good.
We're
That's
in the
good.
we're in the dry dock.
Yeah, okay. Um,
Yeah, there's an awfully lot of blood around here.
yeah, there's a lot of blood. We got attacked.
Well, yeah, I figured that much out. Hole in the ship, blood everywhere. Somebody got paunched.
All right, 7. Thanks for the information. We have some bigger fish to fry. If you want to come on down to this location here, pings it on the map. Pew, 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 ping, ping, ping. Yeah, you just want to come on down and we're going to have a meeting.
Am I in trouble?
No,
Are you sure?
other people are in trouble.
Oh, okay, I'll be right there. No problem. Yeah. See you soon.
Would contacting Kiyomi, would she know where Xanther is?
Potentially, yes, actually. That's a good pull. That's a good pull right there. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Pulling out the new card. I'm pretty sure she has a sending stone. I remember giving it to them.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
She very much
Okay.
does. Her and
'Cause I know
Zulhan both.
yeah. So yes, I go ding ding ding, and I contact Kiyomi.
And after a moment, you hear her light and airy voice come back over the sending stone. Ooh, it's been a while.
Hello. Have you seen Xanther?
Yeah, he should be in the library.
Oh, cool. Well, what are you doing in the city right now? Are you assisting people? Do you need help?
I'm in Valeki right now.
Oh. Oh, that's right. Correct. Well, thank you. Appreciate your time.
No worries.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
And I let Ganeva know that Xanther is in the library.
And the library is on the ship. Right? Yeah.
Yes. You have the um
Different library.
you have the Amber Library in northern Barovia, just south of the Dwarven quarters, and you have the bad stuff library aboard the ship.
Bad stuff library.
That's where you keep all the bad books.
Yeah, that's where the books with tentacles and stuff are. You don't want to read
Mhm.
them.
Mhm.
Ah, okay, got it.
Yeah. That's where all the spooky books go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them nice and locked up.
What are we gonna do with Xanther?
I don't know. You wanted to speak to him, right?
Oh yeah, because I wanted to see where the ship was.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Wow, we made a circle. Nice.
Okay. Making a shape. All right.
Look. I'm just gonna say that's double checking everything. We're being thorough.
Okay. Yeah.
Cross-referencing data. It's very
Yeah.
important.
Look,
Yes.
all of our references can't be Wikipedia. Okay, we gotta diversify.
Oh man.
Silas.
You see him slowly turn his gaze towards you. He acknowledges you, but does so wordlessly.
Okay. Do you have any plan right now?
Working on it.
What's your idea?
Ooh. I have an idea. The floating city.
Does it have anything to do with the floating city?
the, the floating city. Could we perhaps relocate Barovia since it's demolished? Relocate our civilians to the new city.
Should be able to house them. What's left of them.
Hmm.
And several months ago, Sis got the residential area cleared out. So we should have enough living space for everyone.
Perfect. That could be a temporary solution until we get New Barovia and turn into New Barovia. And it'll be in the sky, which would be safer down, I would hope, down here.
I say, as long as it's moving, I think we'll be good. Maybe we can try to figure out a way to make it invisible. We can have an invisible moving fortress as our base of command.
It's possible. The science is certainly sound.
I don't know how much good invisible will do us if they send more of those things, though.
Maybe it makes it
Yeah.
harder for them to find us.
They manipulate magical forces beyond our own power, don't they?
Correct.
You might have a good point.
But still, I think it would be prudent to give them a temporary living space until we get Barovia caught back up.
Agreed.
I'll
And
coordinate the
I,
little
this
lights.
Yes. Coordinate little lights. What's left of them?
You see a pained expression on Silas's face at that comment.
Well, then,
It's
I'd
okay.
have to get back
We
to my
can make more.
research.
We can make more. It's fine. Gandhi?
Oh my god! Are you trying to make me into a brood queen?
Gandhi's handy.
Brood mother? Gandiva? Alright.
Maybe, Silas. Hey, how about this? What if we get this Jovian project going, and we won't need actual little lights? We can just
The end of that cut out, by the way.
make little Genovians
Oh
or
god.
Jonovians instead of little lights, humans. You can make tiny constructs.
Oh, fuck. Mini Gundams.
Yeah, and
Mini
then you don't
SD
have to.
Gundam.
I'm
You-
spooked and scared.
See, then you won't have to worry about like actual people dying. We can repair them.
Is this 86?
A very good idea, youth. Very scientifically sound.
86, but without humans?
And perhaps you can use the actual little lights to maintenance them, and they can learn.
The design I have for the Jovian project unfortunately requires a pilot. I'm not well versed enough in the craft of fabrication of sentient objects of that nature and complexity. The furthest I can really do is animate weaponry.
Well,
True. Creating a full AI is exceedingly difficult.
But rest
Google's here
assured,
to help.
I intend to finish the Jovian project as soon as possible.
Is that your plan?
Part of it.
What's the other part?
Well,
Yes?
how do you feel about a little deicide?
Really?
It's what?
Deicide is the murder of gods.
Yeah? That sounds great.
It will take
It's a
time,
start. Yes.
but I'm confident that if we can make an additional trip to the deserts to the north and reclaim some of the old Neretharese technologies, I can reverse engineer some of it and fabricate new weaponry.
Very well. Then I shall join on this expedition. I would very much like to get my talents on such technology as well.
Do you
As
think
it should be no surprise to you.
now that we've kind of secured the city a little bit more, we could try to get your burb friends down here to like do the research on these what are they called again? The giant holy Gundams.
Failure answers.
They're inevitables.
Oh, inevitables. Yes. Yes.
Mm.
To maybe try taking apart and doing research on these inevitables while we're while we're gone. You know, killing two birds with one stone. Burps.
You've thrown us a pickle, and it's faded.
Whoa.
In the
Oh, I like
meantime, I'll head to the dockyards, see what I can do about the ship, and figure out where we go from there.
Okay. Me, Gandiva, I will get together with some of the little lights aboard the ship and go around and start getting people to board the floating city.
May I take a look at the Azov staff?
Yes, you can. Go ahead. What are you trying to do specifically?
I want to see if it's been affected by the massive power of magic I use from it. I'm just
Uh,
checking on it.
The blossom is at least twice its size, and it seems like there are two smaller buds peering out at the base.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Not full of blood and lily.
Okay. I was just curious of what happened to it after all that.
Uh. Yep.
Well, then, yeah. As the party begins to break up to perform their various tasks, you hear Silas mutter as he walks away, "We'll have vengeance for this." The,
That's right.
the whole ordeal takes roughly 2 hours as the floating city of Haven comes in close and kind of docks in the presiding Savlich Lake to the south of the city. And with a little bit of jury rigging, they create multiple kind of piers for them to use to walk across and enter the city greater. You can really see and highlight how downtrodden the people of Barovia are after such an event. Not since Strahd has the Republic experienced anything like this. Not since even when the party first brought Barovia back to the Prime Material. They always managed to keep the battles outside of the city limits, to keep the bloodshed away. So to experience trauma after so many years of peace, it weighs heavy. By the time the sun sits low in the sky, casting its golden orange rays across the remnant ruins of the city, the majority of the refugees have all but boarded what has become a safe haven, and the city takes to the sky once again, leaving the ruined, abandoned remnants of what remains of New Barovia in its wake. A sad reality being that some of those refugees chose to stay, refusing to leave behind the land that they've known their entire life. And by the time evening has arrived, and the moon begins to peer over the horizon, the city floats high in the air, granting a massive vantage point over the presiding land just below. You can see the warm glow of Krezik and Valeki just in the distance, thankfully unharmed, as it would appear they came and attacked Barovia first.
Oh shit. I just realized something.
What's that?
Kiyomi's on that list, and she's in Valeki.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
along with Zulhan, Pizzoli, and a number of other members of Luminescence, the Unlikely Few, and the Seven Saviors.
We gotta hit them all up and let them know as well of the situation, so that they can take necessary precautions.
And what would you tell them? To defend the land that they reside in? Or to turn to the safe haven that you now all uh, call your fortress?
I don't know how these things track people down. That's part of the problem.
The golden seal.
Regarding that, you've managed to reclaim about, I want to say, of the 6 various inevitables that attacked the city, you've managed to reclaim enough parts to compose 2 whole ones. Their scrap salvage sits in the low-lying cargo hold of the city and is on constant watch by the guardsmen of Barovia as they take shifts keeping an eye on what remains of them, paranoid that they might sit up and rise again, attacking from within.
All right, I guess. Hey, Rocco, can you try hitting up your burb friends?
Yes, I will try again.
And as you attempt to get in contact with the Amber Fleet once more, it, just as before, proved fruitless, as the crews placing the safety of the ship and themselves over the risk of exposing themselves to danger should they provide aid, as the ship is your last and only way off this planet, should worse come to pass.
All 4 of Roko's ears droop, crestfallen.
Has Roko reported to them the events that she's aware of, like the tolling of the bells?
I am considering that's a lot to unload onto them.
I imagine it would be. That's why I asked whether or not she did or didn't. Yeah, but yeah, don't worry about it for right now. Then
I would say no at this moment.
makes
Because I
sense.
feel like there's a little side thing I would like to write up in response to
I figured.
such a thing.
That's exactly what I figured. That's why I asked. Okay.
Yeah,
So with
I'll
that
work on that
said,
throughout this week.
um, the city in the sky, it's kind of listlessly floats near the center of the Republic, as the various members of Luminescence, using the sending stones given out to the various members that compose it, um, contact them and notify them of what's transpired in New Barovia, the risk of what's to come, and the need to potentially organize as a unified front once more. More than 80% of them uh, reply in the affirmative, while a handful uh, place priority over protecting the land and refuse the call. And the ones that do state that come sunrise in the North Zarovich lake, they will have the party kind of convene so that they can join you aboard the ancient Neretheres city.
Okay. Oh yeah, forgot to tell Silas about the weird dragons with the giant furry lady riding them.
Alrighty, guys, give me one moment. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break and stretchy break, and then we will continue shortly. Okay? I also
Sounds good.
recommend that if you've been sitting for this entire time, take a little quick stretchy break, get up, get that blood flowing, grab a little bit of water, use the bathroom if you need to, grab snacks and a drink, and we will be back in about 5 minutes. Much love.
Word.
Get those stretchies. We'll know if you didn't.
Stretch your bussy.
Yeah.
Stretch the bussy.
And we're back.
Is that?
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you
Leedle,
for the
leedle, lee.
patience. Boop.
So, Mr. GM,
Yes.
Mr. GM Sama.
I would like for Roko to go to the place where the scraps of the inevitable constructs are being held.
And as you make your way through the winding, ornate, ancient hallways of this massive megastructure, you find yourself passing by various citizens who now call this place refuge. Many of them look lost as they wander listlessly through these winding corridors. But with your knowledge, they prove familiar, almost comforting. And as you take the lift to the lowest sections of the city, it moving with uncanny speed as you quickly descend. Before long, you find yourself in a massive, sprawling warehouse. Within, tightly cramped up in a corner, sit in a prone position, are two heavily dilapidated machines. The massive glowing discus that sits in their torso, now inert and bronzed, and the fearful presence that these machines carried as they stomped undaunted across the lands, surprisingly gone, leaving you with this empty, dwarfed feeling by comparison. You look them over with a stoic gaze. Uh, what do you do?
She is going to begin poking around at the insides of them in an attempt to reverse engineer the mechanisms in hopes of having that help her come to a better understanding of this new spell slash tech that she's developing.
Okay, give me one moment as I quickly pull a sheet up and reference it. Excuse me. Oh lord, I have mega burpees.
Ooh.
Too much
Gatsby.
energy drink.
Oh,
Okay.
you had the famous.
Yes. Trademarked.
Cool.
Hold on one moment while we pull this
There's
up.
an energy drink with Cthulhu's head on it.
Yes.
Everyone was giving a thumbs up.
Okay, so this will require a combination of 3 rolls due to the complex, foreign nature of this machinery. But you feel surprisingly confident in your ability to understand them if you give it enough time. You will require a DC 14 investigation, DC 14 insight, and a DC 16 arcana. An intelligence roll with your artificer tools can function as a sufficient replacement for arcana. So essentially, DC 14 invest, DC 14 insight, DC 16 artificer tool roll, because I figure you're probably going to use that over arcana.
Both of them are the same, Sylvan Man is not.
Oh, okay.
But for thematic sake, I will indeed go for the Tinker's Tools. So all of this is in combination, yeah? Not just a choice between this and that?
Yeah, it's all combination.
Okay.
These are extremely advanced divine constructs of a foreign design and function. Roll them with advantage, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to
Okay.
mention. Yeah, roll it with advantage. I mean,
And I will give that
you beat
a double
investigation.
roll.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So 24. Instant insight clear. You got a crit. I'll give you that. And crit on Tinker's Tools. Yep, this is pretty thematic in line with what I have in store for you. Okay, so as you begin working on these massive machines,
Any absolute
something
genius.
in your brain clicks in a way that you remember but once. That moment where you signed the contract with Primus, as if all the knowledge of the universe was pouring into your mind, and an understanding on a engineering level that was profound took you. And using this muse, you find that disassembling and understanding what makes these specific inevitables tick to be a simple and easy task. By the time the sun rises, you find that you fully understood and grasped how to make an inevitable. Now, while this is taking place, while Roko is working through the night, what are our other party members doing? Also, you might want to take that down on your sheet as like a acquired nugget of knowledge. Being able to craft an inevitable, that's a big deal.
Gotcha.
That secret is only known to those of Sigil.
Ooh, fancy.
But you don't know that. You don't know that.
Indeed.
Anyway, yeah. So what are our other party members doing as the night continues onward? We have Roko working diligently in the uh, kind of cargo hold of the city. So what is everyone else up to?
Ziz is going to walk around and talk to the refugees and see if anything in the residentials needs improving.
Okay. Ziz, who was internally and kind of unanimously elected as the governor of this mega structure due to his understanding of its mechanisms and the strange reverence offered unto him by its keeper, known only as Adam. Uh, Ziz takes this responsibility to heart and in stride, and begins wandering the halls, engaging with the various civilians and refugees who now call this place home, and tries to offer whatever creature comforts and luxuries he can to make the experience as comfortable and palatable for those involved as he can. This effort goes on for quite some time as you go from refugee to refugee, taking notes and setting out a kind of game plan for the further development of the city as a more self sustaining, habitable place. Give me a charisma roll, and intelligence roll, and oh yeah, just charisma and intelligence should be sufficient for what I'm asking of you. And I need to check one more document.
You said charisma and intelligence, right?
Yep, charisma, intelligence roll, not save.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Just normal.
yep, just normal.
Okay.
You see how well people take to you, and how easy of a time you have compiling a plan.
Right. Let's not get bad rolls, please.
Tell me about it. Oh no, this is the
Hey,
wrong
that'll
doc.
do.
A 24, beautiful. Yeah, they love you. Yeah, okay, typical Ziz.
Woo!
Carrying the team in the back end. Okay, hold on one moment while I pull up this last little nugget. Is this? No, that's that. I have a lot of Google documents, so bear with me. There's a lot.
Relatable.
Yeah.
Food has been ordered.
What you get?
Got some chicken fingies, lemon pepper chicken fingies.
Just
Classic.
where did
Use
I?
that DoorDash credit
Hell
since they didn't want
yeah.
to deliver to me yesterday.
That good stuff. The Yamos. All right. Motherfucker, where did I put it? See, I gotta better name these documents and organize them. I wonder if I can make folders. Yeah, actually I can. All right, so I'll be able to do that. No problem. This won't be as clunky come next time.
Yos.
Yush.
That is not good things for you guys. That's a bridge. I think it's here. Yes, 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 yes. Ziz signed on with Maestra, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. All right, perfect. So my notes are correct. Beautiful. Okay. So, the effort takes quite a while, but the people take to you warmly as they come to understand that you are the one who's essentially providing uh, this safe haven for them, and as well as its upkeep. And they indulge you wholeheartedly. This act actually kind of brings morale up as people see the heroes taking the time to understand their needs and recognize them as people. And by the morning's rise, Ziz has a long list compiled, but a firm idea of how he wants to go about this. And when we finish up the session, I'm going to have you talk to me a little bit about some ideas you want to work on for the city.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of them too.
Okay. How about everybody else? Yeah. What's everybody else getting into?
The youth is going to try to control her meditation more. So
Mm.
yes. So she's going to meditate like usual, but she's going to go away from everybody this time. So she's going to find a nice, quiet.
Understandable.
That was really good timing.
I don't know why it's being fucking weird today. Anyways, tonal meditation.
For what it's
Okay.
worth, it cut out right when you said quiet.
Mhm.
This is pretty funny.
All right. So as Youth sets down in her uh, familiar ritual of the late evening, she finds a quiet corner, isolated away from people as much as she can, and begins to meditate. As before, it proves unusually easy for her to tap into the weave, and the effect appears to be much more mild than when it first exhibited itself in the forest. Slowly, tendrils of tangible magic become visible to the naked eye as they wick off from Youth's body, and she begins to levitate off of the ground. And as she begins to meditate, she feels her mind wander in an unusual way.
Mhm.
She blinks her eyes and realizes she's looking down at herself, meditating, emanating pure, tangible magic, and realizes that the silvery chain, now suddenly pulled from her chest, is the only thing connecting her to that meditative state she now finds herself witnessing in the third person.
Hey, that me.
Now give me a arcane roll of a DC 18 to see. Okay, yep, 33. Beautiful. And effortlessly, Youth begins to kind of let herself go. And you blink once again and find yourself in a beautiful incandescent dreamscape. Fog and clouds roll by you, just close enough for you to touch. And it seems to sprawl on endlessly in all directions. As you take it all in, you look down and you see that the silver chain that connected you to your body before seems to feed into a strange kind of portal where it eventually becomes intangible and vanishes. And then once you blink, you find yourself once again in your body, reinvigorated as if you had just slept several hours, refueled with a solid portion of the magics that you had dispelled upon using your powers in such a raw state for the first time. And you feel a modicum more of control over your abilities.
Ooh. That was refreshing. Like drinking water, but it was magic.
And I guess that leaves Gandiva.
Um, I'm gonna try to get in contact with Osmodius, right? That's his name?
Ah, Osmodius.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, okay. You want to contact Osmodius?
Yep.
Okay. And where are you when you do this?
Good question. I'll go somewhere private. Maybe one of the abandoned buildings or something. I don't know.
Okay. You spend a great deal of the evening wandering the halls, attempting to find one of the residential areas that have yet to be occupied by the refugees. And after some time and a lot of embarrassing walk ins, you find solitude in one of these empty living spaces. It's surprisingly sparse, sporting nothing but a bunk, a table, two chairs, a sink, and what could appear to be a ancient but advanced toilet.
A toilet.
Perfect.
You enter this space, having looked about, and you can see that it hasn't seen use in a very long time. A very healthy layer of dust coats the interior of this room.
uh, I'm not gonna sit on the toilet. I promise.
So you like enter the room and everything.
Yeah, enter the room.
Okay. As you walk into the room, it's dark, illuminated only by the glow of the hall lights behind you.
Damn, if only I had a light spell. Well, I guess I'm gonna
You
have
have
to
dark
do it.
vision.
Oh, should have dark vision. That's
Yeah,
true.
you have dark
Oh,
vision.
damn. I have dark vision. This doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna just clear a spot on the floor and sit down and try to concentrate on contacting Osmodeus.
Gandiva finds a nice, comfortable spot, grabbing one of the pillows off the nearby bunk, setting it down, and kneeling before focusing on praying, something she hasn't done since her time in Lila. And she prays not unlike she did to Arjuna all those years ago. And then the room begins to start to feel very warm, uncomfortably so.
Yo, I swear to God, if this shit. Please don't. Not fire.
Help, help, it's warm. We peed on the room.
A candle on the table that you had overlooked suddenly flares to life, the ember at its tip dancing tall, nearly twice the length of the candle itself. You hear a hearty cackle. I was wondering how long it would take. A fiery circle tears itself open into the
Oh,
ground
God.
before you, and from it emerges a red-skinned, horned man. Sharp, cunning features, well dressed in a dark blue suit, brandishing an ebony gilded cane. He taps the cane twice on the ground. Rise. You do yourself a disservice.
Gandiva rises.
So, my little demon spawn, he says with a venomous edge, for what do you call me?
I was just wondering, you know those inevitables that were looking for us specifically?
Yes, what of them?
Are they just gonna keep coming after us?
Well, you have faced your penance, but they will continue coming until all on the list have faced judgment. It's out of my hands, love. Sorry to disappoint you. This goes far above my head, he says with a coy smirk.
How do you feel about the others on your end of things?
A look of piqued interest tugs at the corner of his eyes. The others? Hmm, well, a few of them do prove to be a thorn in my side, to be certain, while others directly interfere with my ambitions, is what I would say, if I were to answer your question. You can't help but feel as if there's a level of nuance to what he just stated.
Um,
And if I were to answer your question, what would you do with that particular knowledge?
we have a something in common then.
I suppose we do, love. And what do you intend we do about this common goal?
Maybe we can maybe we can get rid of them.
Oh dear, that would be unfortunate if they were to suddenly remove themselves from the equation. And if that were to happen, it would be oh so unfortunate if I had no idea it was happening.
I see. That's good to know.
But be mindful, love, of the things you ask of me. I wouldn't want to put any of my compatriots in danger.
I'll have to get back to you on that, but for now, just know that we have that in common.
Excellent, excellent. Simply delicious, in fact. You're proving to be quite the little asset, aren't you?
Gandiva wags her tail.
Well, we will stay in contact. I'll be sure to send a messenger. We wouldn't want any concerns about our business dealings to come up preemptively, after all.
Oh, don't worry, I won't tell anybody.
Whatever do you mean, dear? And with that, he vanishes in a plume of sulphury fire. The
Poof.
room returns to its darkened state. Naught left but the scorch mark of the circle that alluded to Asmodeus's arrival.
Sweet. That was really stressful for my brain.
That
But
freaking guy.
oh, okay. So, now that that's said and done, Gandiva would also like to go talk to Silas.
Exhausted by the engagement, But left with a little bit of time, you go to where you know Silas is likely residing. And you're proven right, as the light din of banging can be heard in the distance of metal against metal, growing louder and sharper as you approach, until you find yourself outside of his workshop. You enter and find him working tirelessly over the forge, hammering away at a massive plate of what you can only assume to be misium.
Gandiva is going to cautiously approach and try to get his attention.
As you enter the room, kind of tentatively, uh, Silas doesn't look up from his work, but calls back knowingly. What do you need? No break in the rhythm of his steady hammering as he works the metal into its desired shape.
I know you're hard at work right now, but I wanted to ask you about that plan you shared with me earlier.
He grabs a pair of large calipers and, hefting them with his mechanical arm, he takes the massive plate of metal and dips it into a huge vat of water. The hiss of steam fills the air as a plume explodes up from its surface. He withdraws it from the water and inspects it against the light of the forge just behind him. Working on it right now. He tosses the massive metal plate into a pile several feet away. The pile sits at the feet of the skeletal frame of a 15-foot tall, bared mechanical structure. It could pass for the bones of a giant, of a hill giant.
Gandiva is impressed. But anyway, after being a little bit impressed and returning her attention to why she came here, she says, "Is there anything that I can do to speed things along?"
He retorts with a simple nope before starting on another plate, hammering away as he withdraws it from the forge once more.
Shit. You sure about that?
He stops for the first time and looks over at Gandiva. He's got a disturbed look in his eye, like a 1,000-yard stare. And he says, just be sure to be ready to swing your sword when I ask you to.
Of course. I am, after all, your very own holy weapon.
He gives.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, okay. What were you gonna say? You can go.
No, no, go ahead.
Well, I lost it.
He gives a short, curt nod before going back to work once more. The steady rap of the hammer against the metal begins to reverberate within the room.
Oh yeah, if you ever want me to pilot one of those things, I would love to.
You'll need to. And he
Cool.
gestures to two more of the skeletal frames, hung from chains and winches, several feet off the ground, just in the distance. He salvaged 3.
We're gonna kill those motherfuckers. I promise.
He doesn't say anything. He just continues working.
All right. Goodbye. And then Gandiva, go bye bye.
And after a long night from everyone, efforts in all fronts, uh, the sun once again peaks over the horizon, heralding a new day, and another day survived. The city slowly lists over to the Zarovich Lake, just north of Alecki, and begins to set down, because preparations need to be made, because war is soon to come. And that's where we'll end tonight's session, because I have a lot of
Ooh,
stuff I
war.
have to do. But tomorrow, next week's session will be a little longer. Probably run till like 1. Any questions, comments, or feedback? How you guys feel?
Overwhelmed.
I feel great.
PP.
I have magic in my body again.
In my body.
Overwhelming is one way to put it.
Yeah.
Especially just the amount of ideas that I have of
Same.
things that I want to put together for the current situation.
Fucking same.
Well,
Yep.
Smash, if you ever decide to let loose the dogs of war, my friend, good old 7 cannons sitting here with your name on it. For those unaware, my beautiful viewers, Smashus there is our resident 7, the Catman, the King of Paunch, and the Nap Master. I hope I did him justice. I hope I did him justice for you.
That was perfect.
Oh man, but that was great. That was a great. I feel very very confident about getting back into this again.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Wow.
I got some stuff I'm gonna for
Yes,
stream.
yes. Please, 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 please. Any ideas, suggestions, thoughts? I made a little corner in the Discord. Those adventure channels. Go ahead and post them in there. We'll work on it from there. You get what I mean? That way it helps keep
Yes.
everything nice and organized and tight for me so I can quickly reference anything because being new information, sometimes it takes a little bit to stick.
I mean the adventure tabs.
Yes, the adventure tabs
Yeah.
in Discord. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Phenomenal. Okay. So with that said, my friends, prepare your anuses
Woo!
because you have a lot on your plate right now.
Yeah, it's
Got
really stressful.
a lot on your plate.
So
The
much to
solution
do.
tells us that we struggled in vain.
Queen Merica wills
Wonderful
it.
quotes.
Queen Merica wills it that we struggle endlessly. But beautiful. If that covers it, my friends, thank you so much for coming through, for playing. I feel like today went really, really well. And it's only going to get better from here as I'm working on brand new assets for the campaign to come. And that includes a modernized map of Barovia. Yes, that's in the works as we speak. And I wanted to do it justice, and I didn't want to rush it, which is why it isn't ready yet. But rest assured it will be. With movable city, movable flying city, and everything. It's going to be great.
Very good.
Yeah. So, be sure to keep those ideas listed down and get back to me with them ASAP, my friends. I'm looking forward to hearing. You guys always come up with great ideas. And
My docs continue to be filled with them.
and until then, my friends, I will catch you a little bit later. What a stream, guys, huh? I'm feeling really good about DMing on stream. This is like the first time I did it was a bit like clunky and really kind of like meh. But I feel like I improved a great deal from the last one, and I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed tagging along for this really great adventure. It means a lot to me, more than I could possibly put to words. D&D means a great deal to me, and sharing it with you people is it's a dream. So I hope you thoroughly enjoyed yourselves, that you stay hydrated, as that's very important to general wellness, that you get plenty of rest, the cornerstone to a productive day. Very important. And that you keep loving yourselves and each other. And I think that it would be a fantastic idea for us to send all this love and fun and adventure on over to someone else. So let's see who we got to send the party over to tonight. How do you feel about that? How about we hit them with a love bomb and raid them, letting loose the dogs of love? That sounds fucking sick to me. What do you guys think? How about we hit Loopy? The Loopy Walrus, friend of the channel, dear guy, much love. How about we hit him with a beautiful raid? Yeah! Much love. I'm with it, guys. So you get over there, you spam them with that DPRQ love. And those DPRQ NOS! And I will see you all tomorrow. Pleasant dreams.